If you're looking to build serious wealth, relocating overseas is one of the best ways of doing this. In today's video, I'm going to run through with numbers, with calculations, the actual impact that significantly reducing your taxes has on your net worth. Of course, relocating overseas has so many other benefits: increased safety, lower living costs, less taxes. But in this video, I'm going to run through exactly the impact that paying less tax has when it comes to building wealth. I've crunched a couple of numbers here. I've got them here. So as you can see, so we've got two examples here, basically running through if you're a UK resident paying UK taxes and a non-UK resident living somewhere overseas, such as Dubai, Thailand, somewhere where you can structure it to pay pretty much zero taxes. So the first one here, we've got if you're a UK resident earning £250,000, you'll pay corporation tax on that at 62,500, 25% effectively. This would give you dividends to pay out of 187,500, income tax on that about 57,000. So for a business owner making £250,000, you're left with just 130,000, 196 pounds, give or take. A rough estimated tax rate of about 48% on that income. Assuming that you're spending £100,000 a year, pretty reasonable for somebody making £250,000 in their business. £100,000 on living expenses gives you just £30,000 to reinvest when it comes to building your net worth: stocks, property, shares. What we've done here is we've assumed investment growth rate of 10.63%, which is the, I think, 50-year average of the S&P 500, so pretty reasonable to assume that as an investment growth rate. So as a UK resident, here's what you would have. If you're earning £250,000 a year, the end of year one, you'd have about the 30,000 you put in. We've not assumed any growth because obviously you put in over that year, so there might be a couple of percent, but not enough to make a big difference to these numbers. Year two, you would have £63,601. Year three, £100,558. Year four, 141,444. Then at the end of year five, you'd have about 186,000 invested effectively. If you were to contribute that 30,000 that you've got left over as your basically spare income, 10.63% growth rate, that's what you would have. Now, if we compare the numbers as a UK resident earning £500,000 a year in your business. So again, as before, you'll have the corporation tax, 25% roughly, 125,000, which would give you 375 to pay out as dividends. The income tax on that, a whopping 131,085 pounds, giving you net cash, basically net after all of your taxes, of about 243,000 pounds. A tax rate, an effective tax rate of over 50%, 51.22% on that. Of course, if you're earning that much money, you earn money to spend it fundamentally. So assume spending of £200,000 a year to meet your lifestyle and living expenses. That gives you just £43,915 available to invest. And this is what that would look like. So at the end of year one, 43,915. Year two, 92,498. Year three, 146,245. Year four, 205,706. And at the end of year five, you'll be left with about £271,000 invested. I mean, not bad by any means, but that's certainly not wealth. Now, this is where it's quite shocking the impact of paying a significant amount of taxes, basically 50% or more in taxes, has when it comes to destroying your wealth or basically hindering your ability to actually build wealth being based in a Western country. So again, same examples here. Non-UK resident, instead you've got a business based somewhere such as Dubai, you pay pretty much no corporation tax, no income tax, £250,000 profit, no taxes, no tax on dividends, no income tax, you're left with £250,000. You've not got any taxes to pay there. Again, assuming that you're spending £100,000 on your living expenses, that's a pretty decent lifestyle. Even if you say Dubai is slightly more expensive, £100,000 will get you a fantastic lifestyle out in Dubai. That gives you a staggering £150,000 a year to invest. You know, almost 5x what the previous example would be if you were paying taxes in the UK. So at the start of year one, you've got the 150. Year two, £315,000. So just after 2 years of being a non-tax resident, you're already better off from a net worth perspective than you were after 5 full years of investing in the UK. Year three, 499,000. Year four, 702,000. The end of year five, you've got £927,000 there, just shy of £1 million. And this is almost 5x what you had if you were a UK resident. You'd have the 186. compared to that of a non-resident, you've got 927. So it's a massive difference. 5 years of non-tax residents not paying UK taxes can make a massive difference and effectively set a lot of people up for life. But we go further. We've got £500,000 of profits as a non-UK tax resident. What does that look like? Again, pretty much no taxes there. Assume spending £200,000 a year. In Dubai especially, you can have an incredible lifestyle for £200,000, the villa, the G-Wagon, everything. That gives you £300,000 a year available to invest. And what do these numbers look like? At the end of year one, you've got 300,000, year two, 631, year three, 999, year four, 1.4 million, and year five, 1.8 million. So it's a massive difference. In the UK, if you're investing that, if you're on the £500,000 a year profits, you have just over £250,000 in investments. If you were a non-UK resident, not paying UK taxes, you have just under 2 million. So that's a significant difference that not paying taxes makes when it comes to the amount of income that you have to spend and invest, but also when you compound that, so when you put those tax savings to work at a growth rate of 10.63%, just how those tax savings compound over time when it comes to building wealth. Of course, there's more to it than just the money side of things, but it really is quite powerful as to what you can achieve when you strategize and optimize your tax position, because in the UK, paying these 50% taxes, it's almost impossible to build wealth. Even when you're earning good money here, as you can see, £500,000 a year, £250,000 a year in your business, well, actually, you're just about making ends meet. 100k is pretty much what you need to live on in the UK, have a decent house, a couple of holidays a year. And that really doesn't give you much left over to invest in yourself and invest in your future. But when you compare that to being a non-UK tax resident, the numbers change massively and you actually are able to build wealth. And these are just some of the reasons to consider moving overseas. Taxes obviously are a main one at the minute. With Labour coming in, who knows what's going to happen to these tax rates, potential changes to capital gains tax, inheritance tax, and so much more that are really going to hurt the wealthy, hard-working business owners. But you've got a whole plethora of other reasons as well. Fair enough, in the UK, paying taxes if it's a great country to live, but let's be real, a lot of people don't actually enjoy living in the UK. They just feel like they're stuck here. They don't know about their other options. But you've got a whole host of different countries that are going to give you zero taxes or very, very low taxes. If you want to find out more about this, watch my free training, click that link below where we're going to run through how you can potentially relocate overseas personally and from a corporate angle as well, and ultimately achieve the type of tax savings we mentioned here and ultimately build that kind of wealth that we've gone through here. If you find this video useful, please do also hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Bye for now.